Precious Lee, welcome to the Daily Social Distancing Show.
Thank you for having me.
It is an absolute pleasure to have you. I'm even shocked that you had the time to be my guest on the show because you're doing everything. You're genuinely doing. I'm going to read just some of the things that you're doing. You first African American curve model to appear in American Vogue, the first black plus size model to grace the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, and last January you officially became the face of Versace alongside Hailey Bieber and Kendall Jenner. And your Instagram bio says making history, which I feel like means you're the first person who has an Instagram bio that's actually accurate. Congratulations.
Thank you. That's so cute.
Welcome to the show. How is life? What is life for you right now?
Life is fab. I mean, you know, progressing forward with all of the craziness that's happening and just like the emotional stress it's been to literally exist as being Black. And then to have the opportunity and so much like amazing people to work with and like reaching my dreams in a pandemic and
Right,
like the
right.
middle of this revolution. It's like it's amazing in general, but this timing, it just makes it so profound. Like everything is like amplified because it just means so much to me to be able to thrive in this setting.
It almost is paradoxical because, I talk to friends about how everybody during this time has a little bit of guilt if they experience any joy because of the collective state of despair that the world is in. But at the same time, I always say we need to see that joy so that we can remember joy. I mean, being a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman who's breaking barriers in the fashion industry, which for years, let's be honest, has been a very specific type of white, is an amazing thing for so many people to see. You started off your career going, you know what, I'm going to be a lawyer. Let me dabble in acting. A lot of people laughed at you and said, you're wasting your time. You're not going to be in modeling. Don't dabble, don't waste anything. And yet here you are today. How do you see that journey?
I mean, it's just such a beautiful story that I'm grateful I can tell. Like I've always wanted to like live out loud. And me wanting to become an attorney, literally it was a dream that was created from middle school and from the advocacy and representing the Native Americans against President Andrew Jackson in a mock trial. And I was like, this is it. I got to help people. Like, this is crazy. People are treating people like this. No. So for me to like go from that to like really listening to my intuition as well and like following like my heart as it and not just necessarily this plan. And if I didn't do that, like I wouldn't be sitting here probably talking to you right now. And I'm just so grateful that my story is something that I was the main writer of. Like I
Right,
have
right.
been manifesting these things and I've been working hard and I haven't allowed anybody to tell me any differently. And even when they did, it was like it didn't matter. And so to have that tenacity to get to this place now, it just makes my story just more like me more willing to tell and share because it's not just my journey, it's a journey that could literally like empower someone to do something that they're more than capable of doing that they wouldn't have done before.
You do that every single time you take a picture, every single time you are put onto a magazine cover, because whether we like to admit it or not, as society, we are shaped by the things that we are seeing, right? Whether it's on screen, whether it's on a magazine, whether it's in a film, those are the things that give us an idea of what the world is. And now you are part of the shaping of that world. Did you ever take a moment to think about how impactful that would be, or did it hit you out of nowhere?
Well, the advocacy portion of law was what like connected me with that. And once
Of
I learned
course.
that
Right.
there was a larger platform even for advocacy in fashion, and I could do something that I genuinely love doing. Like I found out who Stephen Meisel was by there was a mood board generator that they used to have. That you could like make your mood boards and create the photographers, the stylists, and so many of the pictures I love so much. I realized eventually they were all from the same photographer, and it was Stephen Meisel. And that was when I locked in, and I was like, "This is the man," because it was just something that brought it integrated my creative instinct as well as my innate sense of advocacy and leadership, like
Right,
being
right, right.
able to like walk down a runway and it not just be just completely about the garment. It's about the moment. It's about what it's creating and like creating space by like, doing the things that I love is what made me stay. So I have a degree in mass media arts from Clark Atlanta University. I got to sign to a big agency in New York, and I said, you know what? This is not like me, but I'm going to give it 1 year. And if it's not epic, I'm going to go to law school. And that was a little bit ago, a little couple of years ago. And so, for me to be able to like find new ways of connecting to my career and
Yes.
new ways connecting to fashion, to media, and wanting to transform imagery is not just something on a superficial level for me. Psychologically, the children that are watching and ingesting the things that we're putting out, like to be able to be a part of expanding the mentality and the perception of beauty for so many young kids and just
Hmm.
people in
Hmm.
general. And like men, like I've had men to come up to me on the street and like people just come out and say like, thank you for, doing this because my little sister loves you or my daughter loves you.
Wow.
And for me, those things are why I've connected myself to this industry and continued and didn't listen to all of those whack haters telling me anything else that I already knew was ridiculous.
Well, now the whack haters get to see you on the cover of British Vogue and hopefully on every other major publication that comes out. Presh, thank you so much for joining me on the show. I hope to see you again when we get the next cover and the next one and the next one after
Yes.
that. Take
Bye,
care.
Trevor.
Bye.